Hey y'all, and welcome to the last new releases of August. We are at the week of August 28th. I think maybe one or two do come out on September 1st, but pretty much everything is slated for August 29th. And this list is long. It just kept going for this week. Oh my gosh, there's so many interesting ones that I thought you guys would like to hear about, want to know about. So yes, long list. Time stamps though for each genre and age group that we go to, because I will separate YA fantasy from like adult fantasy and stuff like that. So yes, timestamps. But if you're new here, hi, I'm Morgan. Thank you for clicking on this. I hope you find something awesome to read. We'll maybe go check out some of my other videos. Subscribe to join us for next week's new releases and the reviews of some of these that are planned. Without further ado though, let's get into the real star of this video, the books. Our first genre is going to be sci-fi. But before we begin, let's go ahead and put the weekly disclaimer that sometimes I do forget to say. I am going to mispronounce things. It's not on purpose. I'm sorry if it offends anybody. Hopefully it doesn't. Because yeah, names are hard, especially fantasy names and places. But sci-fi is a little bit different, at least, yeah. The first one though is going to be Icarus, the Genome Chronicles by Natasha Wells. The book cover is really cool, and it does bring, the tale of Icarus to mind with her outfit on the cover. A woman out of her time, a man determined to keep her safe, a government's deadly secrets. Kara Giddings, an Air Force specialist burdened by a haunting past, embarks on a daring escape from her abusive family, seeking refuge among the stars. Little does she know that her destiny is entwined with the threads of time itself. As her DNA is altered in a mysterious genetic research program, she awakens aboard the Icarus, a state-of-the-art spaceship commanded by the enigmatic Colonel Pike Havard. Colonel Pike Havard leads a team of intrepid researchers on a quest to uncover secrets behind humanity's cryogenic facilities, a mystery shrouded in history. Rhyming, really? When Kara becomes the first successfully thawed human from the past, the tension between her fragile trust and Pike's unwavering duty threatens to unravel the bonds that tie them together. In a future where science has granted humanity extended life and astounding technology, Kara must navigate a world she could never have fathomed. Yet Kara's journey of self-discovery and healing resonates with the universal truth that even amidst the stars, it's the connections we forge that truly define us. It's supposed to be a sci-fi romancy thing, like of course her and the Colonel. Yeah. This next one, the reviews, was it this one that the reviews weren't awesome? Okay, the reviews on this one were back and forth, and it took looking through several of those to figure out, because somebody finally said it, and then I went back to the actual description, because disclaimer is the description does not say this fact, but if you could go down to the editorial review on the page, it does say that it, is part of the interconnected galaxy or whatever she's doing. But it's The Blue Beautiful World by Karen Lord. This is actually the third in her interconnected series universe. All of the characters seem to be different per book, and they have like different themes, but the other two books are brought up a lot in this one, apparently at the first 25-30%, so it will be very confusing if you have not read the other two in this series. This one though is as First Contact transforms Earth, a team of gifted visionaries race to create a new future in this wondrous science fiction novel from the author of The Best of All Possible Worlds, which is the first in the series. The world is changing and humanity must change with it. Rising seas and soaring temperatures have radically transformed the face of Earth. Meanwhile, Earth is being observed from far away by other civilizations, and now they are ready to make contact. Vying to prepare humanity for first contact are a group of dreamers and changemakers, including Peter Hendricks, the genius inventor behind the most advanced VR tech, Charissa, a beloved celebrity icon with a passion for humanitarian work, and Kona, a member of a global council of young people drafted to reimagine the relationship between humankind and alien societies. And they may have an unexpected secret weapon, Owen, a pop megastar whose ability to connect with his adoring fans is more than charisma. His hidden talent could be the key to uniting Earth as it looks toward the stars. But Owen's abilities are so unique that no one can control him, and so seductive that he cannot help but use them. Can he transcend his human limitations and find the freedom he has always dreamed of, or is he doomed to become the dictator of his nightmares? So Owen's character sounds odd out of all of this. That's all I got for that. And we'll move on to the next one, which is also a tech sci-fi, of course, but it's a Second Chance for Yesterday by R.A. Sin. I want to bring this up because some people might like it and it might be interesting, but it just naggles in my brain at the end of it. And this is actually two authors. That's a pen name for two authors that are siblings. One is a historian, one is a futurist, apparently. Nev Bourne, yes, I think it's Nev Bourne is a hotshot programmer of the latest and greatest tech invention out there, SavePoint, the brain implant that rewinds the seconds of all our most embarrassing moments. She's been working non-stop on the next rollout, even blowing off her boyfriend, her best friend, and her family to make SavePoint 2.0. But when she hits go on the test run, she wakes up the next day only to discover it's yesterday. She's falling backwards in time, one day at a time. As things spiral out of control, a long-lost friend from college reappears in her life, claiming they know how to save her. Aaron is charming and mysterious and somehow knows Nev intimately well. Desperate and intrigued, Nev takes a leap of faith. A friendship born of fear slowly becomes a bond of deepest trust and possibly love. With time running out and the whole world of SavePoint users at stake, Nev must learn what it will take to set things right and what it will cost. We move on into fantasy. And our first one was apparently self-published maybe a year or two ago, or 3, I don't remember the year it says. It was published under the name The Boy with Fire, and now under Orbit it's being published as The Phoenix King by Aparna Verma. The Ravani kingdom was born of a prophecy carved from unforgiving desert sands and ruled by the Revenant's bloodline, those with the power to command the eternal fire. Elena Adaya is heir to the throne and the only Revenants who cannot wield her family's legendary magic. As her coronation approaches, she will do whatever it takes to prove herself a worthy successor to her revered father. But she doesn't anticipate the arrival of Yasin Knight, the notorious assassin who now claims fealty to the throne. Elena's father might trust Yasin to be a member of her royal guard, but she is certain he is hiding something. As the threat of war looms like a storm on the horizon, the two begin a dangerous dance of intrigue and betrayal, and the choices they make could burn down the world. So it certainly sounds intriguing. I'll give it that. And the next one, though, is The Mystery at Dunvegan Castle by T.L. Huxley. It says, duels, magic, and plenty of ghosts await them in The Mystery of Dunvegan Castle, in the third of T.L. Hutchins' best-selling Edinburgh Nights series. In this one, we're following still the 15-year-old ghost walker Ropa as she arrives at the Worldwide Society of Skeptical Inquirers Biennial Conference, just in time to be tied into a mystery. Our next one is going to be Son of the Drowned Empire by Frankie Diane Malice. This one is a retelling of book 2 in this series, but from Lord Ryan Hart's perspective. I still want to start this series. I still do. In The Daughter of the Drowned Empire, there's a certain form of magic is outlawed, and our main character possesses this. She has already seen, I think it was her cousin, killed by this because the ruling empire that governs over them found out, but they are part of the royal family of this lesser, conquered sort of empire. But she is kind of cast out, and she has to get trained, I think, by this Lord Ryan person, who she also has like this feelings for. Horrible description. Should have gotten the actual description. I know, but I didn't. This is, I think, got 4 or 5 books in this series now, and I really want to start it. It came up on the July TBR game, and I didn't have time to get it, and also, couldn't find a copy used. I was fighting with myself not to order the new one from Amazon. Okay. Moving on, though. Next is a fantasy romance called Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Mahir. Assistant wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties. Supporting staff for random mayhem, terror, and other dark things in general. Discretion is a must. Excellent benefits. With ailing family to support, Evie Sage's employment status isn't just important, it's vital. So when a mishap with Renadon's most infamous villain results in a job offer, naturally, she says yes. No job is perfect, of course, but even less so when you develop a teeny crush on your terrifying, temperamental, and undeniably hot boss. Don't find evil so attractive, Evie. It says that in italics. It's so cute. But just when she's getting used to severed heads suspended from the ceiling and the odd squishing of an errant eyeball beneath her heel, Evie suspects that this dungeon has a huge rat, and not just the literal kind, because something rotten is growing in the kingdom of Radon, and someone wants to take the villain and his entire nefarious empire out. Now Evie must not only resist drooling over her boss, but also figure out who exactly is sabotaging his work, and ensure he makes them pay. After all, a good job is hard to find. That sounds cute. It does. It does. So when you want something maybe on the lighter side, that is probably a good one to check out. Then we shall move into YA now, starting with YA fantasy, of course. And book 2 of a duology, of the Darkening duology, is coming out. It's called Lightstruck by Sunya Mar. It says it's the epic sequel and conclusion to the Darkening duology, which has been called enchanting and wildly clever. Vesper Vale, once savior to a city plagued by cursed storms, finds herself facing an even more sinister threat when an ominous light summoned by the Great King seizes control of the city. Oh my god, I cannot wait to read this book. So, in the first book, we are following our main character, Vesper Vale. She is the daughter of failed revolutionaries because her mother fought to, she wanted to topple the reigning kings because she saw that this city, their city that's trapped by a magical storm, which is slowly getting, smaller and smaller space available, that the reigning monarchs were only barely protecting the people. They weren't fighting back the storm as much. And also they're slowly getting weaker through the generations. So she wanted to topple the monarchy and find a way to stop the storm, and she had ideas. She had grand ideas, but her mom failed. Her dad, who was, all in with her mom, was actually a prodigy as well. He could take their magic system, which is like iconomancy almost, but it's more words and can be broken down into individual letters within it, and that's what he did. He created new icons kind of for their magic system, all his own, by combining different parts of letters, and he made his own. That's the prodigy, and he was kind of strong with it, I think, too. But of course, when their revolution failed, he went into hiding because baby Vesper. So he went into hiding with Vesper. And now, though, she has used one of these icons without knowing any of the backstory, really. She kind of knew they did this thing, and her mom was sentenced to walk into the storm. But Vesper never realized that her dad created these icons. So when she uses one, it's immediately tracked down. They're like, oh, here's where he's hiding. They didn't know she used it, and her dad is captured. So now Vesper is doing everything she can to free her father, including working with the prince undercover, under false name, but the prince is actually trying to find a way to stop the storm. And intrigue things. Some things were stupid. I will admit, some things were stupid, but I greatly liked it. I love the magic system that was created here and the world and what we were told about the past of the gods and everything. And it's a duology, so it's going to be nice and short and wrapped up. Hopefully, this book is going to end well. And I can hear somebody cutting their grass somewhere, and I really hope the camera's not picking it up because I will not have time to do this again later. Our next YA fantasy, though, is Her Radiant Curse by Elizabeth Lim. Beautiful cover. I will give it that. And it is not in a series, but I think it will have a crossover character, though, from her other books, is what I've heard. There's a character in here that does appear in her other books. Or maybe the main character appeared briefly in one of the other books. I don't remember what I heard anymore. Shouldn't have mentioned it, probably. One sister must fall for the other to rise. Shawnee was not born a monster, but when her own father offers her in sacrifice to the demon witch, she is forever changed. Cursed with a serpent's face, Shawnee is the exact opposite of her beautiful sister Vanna, the only person in the village who looks at Shawnee and doesn't see a monster, the only person she loves and trusts. Now 17, Vanna is to be married off in a vulgar contest that will enrich the coffers of the village leaders. Only Shawnee, who's had to rely on her strength and cunning all these years, can defend her sister against the cruelest of the suitors. but in doing so, she becomes the target of his wrath, launching a grisly battle royale, a quest over land and sea, a romance between sworn enemies, and a choice that will strain Chani's heart to its breaking point. Weaving together elements of the selection and Ember in the Ashes with the classic tales like Beauty and Beast, Helen of Troy, and Asian folklore, Elizabeth Lim is the absolute top of her game in this thrilling yet heart-wrenching fantasy that explores the dark side of beauty and the deepest bonds of sisterhood. That last paragraph wasn't part of the description, but I went in full force, so you know. And then we have Never a Hero by Vanessa Lynn. I'm pretty sure this is why. It's the sequel, of course, to Only a Monster, which Only a Monster is, don't forget the rule, no one can know what you are, what we are. You must never tell anyone about monsters. Joan has just learned the truth. Her family are monsters with terrifying hidden powers. And the cute boy at work isn't just a boy. He's a legendary monster slayer who will do anything to destroy her family. To save herself and her family, Joan will have to do what she fears most, embrace her own monstrousness, because in this story, she is not the hero. Yep, somebody is awake because I can hear the coughing, and I'm sorry if it does come through. It's 100 degrees outside. I don't know how sinuses are acting up to do this to it. But school, germs, yes, that. The last of the YA fantasy is going to be House of Marion by E.J.L. I was going to say E.J.L. Where does it start? Okay, down here. Bury your secret or die for it. 17-year-old Quill has lived her entire life on the run. She and her mother have fled from city to city in order to hide the deadly magic that flows through Quill's veins. Until someone discovers her dark secret. To hide from the assassin hunting her, and to keep her mother out of harm's way, Quill reluctantly inducts into the debutante society of magical social elites called the Order that she never knew existed. If she can pass their 3 rites of membership, mastering their proper form of magic, she'll be able to bury her forbidden magic forever. Okay. If caught, she will be killed. But becoming the perfect debutante is a lot harder than Quill imagined, especially when there's more than tutoring happening with Jordan, her brooding mentor and assassin in training. When Quill uncovers the deadly lengths that the Order will go to defend its wealth and power, she's forced to choose. Embrace the dark magic she's been running from her entire life, or risk losing everything and everyone she's grown to love. Still, she fears the most formidable monster she'll have to face is the one inside. Now into just regular YA, though this one does have hints of the paranormal. This one and the next one have hints of the paranormal. Is Sign of the Slayer by Sharina Harris. High school is supposed to be about studying, socializing, and marching band practice, not fighting vampires. Then one night flipped my world inside out. Now my life sucks. It isn't all bad, but I'm at a Slayer Academy learning things like the real origin of vamps and how to make serious weapons out of thin air. That's kind of cool though. Every last one of them will pay for what they did. I'm doing great. Until I come face to face with the actual vampire prince. I'm not sure of anything anymore. Vampires are supposed to be soul-sucking demons, but Kamari is something else. He's intelligent and reasonable, and he seems to know things about me that could change everything. He's also hiding something big, even from his own kind. And when a threat from an ancient evil is so extreme that a vampire will team up with a slayer to take it down, it isn't just my need for revenge that's at stake anymore. It's the whole damn world. So, this one sounds creepy and good. Somebody said it was the perfect summer read, because I think the time frame takes place, but it really feels like the darkness element of it feels more, colder month to me, at least. But time frame wise, it takes place in the warm summer months. This is Together We Rot by Skyla Ardent, and it's classified as YA horror romance. Will Green's mom has been missing for over a year, and the police are ready to call the case closed. They claim she skipped town and you can't find a woman who wants to disappear. But she knows her mom wouldn't just leave, and she knows the family of her former best friend, Elwood Clark, has something to do with it. Elwood has been counting down the days until his 18th birthday in dread. It marks leaving school and joining his pastor father in dedicating his life to their congregation, the Garden of Adam. But when he comes home after one night of a final goodbye with his friends already self-flagellating for the sins of drinking and disobeying his father, he discovers his path is not as virtuous as he thought. He's not his father's successor, but his sacrifice. For the woods he's grown up with are thirsty and must be paid in blood. Now, on the run from a family that wants him dead, he turns to the only one who will believe him, Will. Together they form a reluctant partnership. She'll help him hide if he helps her find evidence that his family killed her mother. But in the end, they dig up more secrets than they bargained for, unraveling decades of dark cult dealings in their town, led by the Clark family. And there's a reason they need Elwood's blood for their satanic rituals. Something inhuman is growing inside of him. Everywhere he goes, the plants come alive and the forest calls to him. And Will isn't sure if she can save the boy that she can't help but love. Our last YA is going to be from a series that everybody seems to be really liking. I haven't started it. I don't know if I will either. I don't know. It sounds intriguing, sure, but at the same time, I just don't know if I'm up for that in the YA level. So, But I know everybody has liked it, would like it. It's The Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one we're following Grayson Hawthorne and Jameson Hawthorne. It's I guess after the other ones, but this one is more specifically their story. As it says, Grayson Hawthorne was raised as the heir apparent to his billionaire grandfather, taught from the cradle to put family first. Now the great Tobias Hawthorne is dead and his family disinherited, but some lessons linger. When Grayson's half-sisters find themselves in trouble, he swoops in to do what he does best, take care of the problem, efficiently, effectively, and mercilessly, and without getting bogged down in emotional entanglements. Jameson Hawthorne, a risk-taker, a sensation-seeker, a player of games. When his mysterious father appears and asks for a favor, Jameson can't resist the challenge. Now he must infiltrate London's most exclusive underground gambling club, which caters to the rich, the powerful, and the aristocratic, and win an impossible game of greatest stakes. Luckily, Jameson Hawthorne lives for the impossible. So, the book is going to be all about them. Moving into thriller, we have Good Bad Girl by Alice Finney. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, so good people have to do bad things. 20 years after a baby is stolen from a stroller, a woman is murdered in a care home. The two crimes are somehow linked, and a good bad girl may be the key to discovering the truth. Edith may have been tricked into a nursing home, but at 80 years young, she's planning her escape. Patience works there, cleaning messes and bonding with Edith, a kindred spirit, but Patience is lying to Edith about almost everything. Edith's own daughter, CeeLo, won't speak to her, and someone new is about to knock on CeeLo's door, and their intentions aren't good. With every reason to distrust each other, the women must solve a mystery with 3 suspects, 2 murders, and 1 victim. If they do, they might just find out what happened to the baby who disappeared, and the mother who lost her, and the connections that bind them. Moving into fiction, we have Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. Mia, the irreverent, hyper-analytical 20-year-old daughter, has an explanation for everything, which is why she isn't initially concerned when her father and younger brother, Eugene, don't return from a walk in a nearby park. They must have lost their phone or stopped for an errand somewhere. But by the time Mia's brother runs through the front door bloody and alone, it becomes clear that the father in this tight-knit family is missing, and the only witness is Eugene, who has a rare genetic condition, Angelman syndrome, and cannot speak. What follows is both a ticking clock investigation into the whereabouts of a father and an emotionally rich portrait of a family whose most personal secrets just may be the heart of his disappearance. Full of shocking twists and fascinating questions of love, language, and human connections, Happiness Falls is a mystery, family drama, and novel of profound philosophical inquiry. With the powerful storytelling she brought to that's something else. Then our last book of the week, is Big Little Spells by Hazel Beck. This is the sequel to Small Town Big Magic, though it's a different main character. I don't know how connected also. And now, after reading about this one, I totally want to add the other one to my October TBR. It sounds... Oh, it's a paranormal romance. Yes, okay. I'm going to read the description for Big Little Spells because it is following a different character, so I think it's okay too. Is her magic a threat to witchkind, or is she simply powerful enough to save the world? Rebecca Wild was 18 when she left St. Cyprian, officially stripped of her magic, and vanished from her home. 10 years later, she's forced to return to face the Joywood Coven, who preside over not just her hometown, but the whole magical world. Rebecca is happy to reunite with her sister and her friends, but the implications of her return are darker and more dangerous than they could have imagined. The Joywood are determined to prove Rebecca and her friends are a danger to witchkind, and her group faces an impending death sentence if they can't prove otherwise. Rebecca must seek help from the only one who knows how to stop the Joywood, the ruthless immortal Nicholas Frost. Years ago, he was her secret tutor in magic and her secret impossible crush. But the icy immortal is as remote and arrogant as ever, and if he feels anything for Rebecca, or which kind, it is impossible to tell. My only thought and question here that just doesn't sound right with the description from the beginning to the end is, okay, she had her magic stripped, and the first character in the first book also says that, but they both somehow still have magic? How do you have it taken away and you still has it? Is it like locked away, not really stripped? So we should think about wording there? I don't know, but I'm possibly intrigued enough to find out. Yeah, totally. Might have already ordered a used copy. That is all for our very long list of books this week. I hope though that you found something enjoyable, maybe that you want to add to your TBR, go pick up. Or, you know, if it's a sequel book and now you want to go start the first book in this series, like some of these, I really think you should. I've already read some of them. Some of them we all should start together maybe. Like I said, one of them I kind of already ordered. If you like this video though, please go check out some of my others and you'll consider subscribing so you can come back every week to join us. Also, if you subscribe and you go watch my giveaway video, this is the last week to enter the giveaway to get a special edition book of Threads of Power. Yeah, I haven't said the book in any of the videos besides the giveaway one, but that's the book it is. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you will go check out some of my other videos like the giveaway or my September TBR, and will subscribe and join us for more. Thank y'all so much. I hope you're having an awesome day and finding something great to read. Bye y'all.